Hello neighbor, this is Curt with etrailer, and today we're going to take a look at the Benton LittleShift Bike Rack and see how it interacts with our 2024 Nissan Rogue. Now if you've gone ahead and bought the LittleShift and you've got some things that you want to share, what you like about it, maybe what you don't, go ahead and leave those in the comments below. We'd love to share your experience with our other neighbors in order to help them make the best decision for themselves. Now if you've been on the look for a single bike rack for the hitch of your Rogue, and you want it to really be as versatile as possible, a good weight capacity to go along with it. Maybe you're just somebody, you're the only person in your household that really rides a bike. Maybe it's just you want something small and unobtrusive back here that you could have your bike on all the time if you do ride frequently. But either way, the Benton LittleShift is going to be a great option for you. It's going to have an 80-pound weight capacity, which means even those heavier e-bikes are going to be able to go on this. And there are multiple different ways that we can put it on here. There are 3 different points of contact. We have 2 ratcheting wheel straps with a rubber pad to help protect our wheel. We also have this arm and hook system here that can be not only wheel mounted like we have on our bike today, but you can actually also have it frame mounted, just like that. So if you have a bike with fenders on it, we still have the option of using this bike rack. Now the other great thing about this too is that it's pretty lightweight. It only weighs about 25 pounds. That means it is something you can take in and out of the hitch pretty comfortably. It's even something that you can store in the back of your Rogue if you need to use the hitch for something else. But in regards to how it fits on our Rogue, this is a really large frame bike. It's got about a 15.5-inch handlebar here, and as you can see, we've still got some good clearance. But some of the shorter bikes out there with this slope might run into issues with this if you have long handlebars on those as well. But even on a rough terrain, you know, this actually isn't really moving around enough to look like it's going to make contact there. One of the things you're definitely going to want to be aware of, though, is your pedal placement. So on this inside pedal here, I think it's going to be a good idea to make sure when you put it on this rack to have it up in this position above the bumper, because if it was lower down here, it would definitely be making contact with that bumper. Now, with all that being said, you know, it's going to do pretty much what every platform bike rack does. You are going to get some obstruction as far as visibility goes out of the back. Just a little bit here, and again, this is a pretty big frame bike. Get a little bit of, you know, obstruction looking out of your rear view window. We also have really not that much, but just a little bit of obstruction on our taillights for the other drivers out there. But your license plate and your backup camera are definitely going to be a bit obscured. So it's always a good idea to know just what kind of footprint this is leaving behind the vehicle. So from the bumper to the furthest point, which would be right here, this only comes out about 14.5 inches, so that's really not that much, but it is, you know, important to understand that you have that back there if you're backing into a tight space or trying to parallel park. The other thing that we want to look at is ground clearance. So ground clearance from the furthest point of the bike is going to come right in at 12 inches. Because this sits so close to the vehicle, I'm not terribly worried about it bottoming out on a steep incline or driveway, but again, it is good to be aware. I also had mentioned that this has an 80-pound weight capacity. So if you have one of those heavier e-bikes, you're going to want to make sure that you're going to be able to lift that up about 14 3/4 inches in order to get it secured into the wheel cups. So loading and removing the bike off of the LittleShift is also very, very easy. First thing you're going to want to do is press the tab on these ratcheting straps, get them out, and feed them through your spokes and out of the way on the other side. We're going to come over and do the same thing on our front tire here. Let's get that through and out of the way. Lastly, we're going to release our arm and hook. So what we'll do is just move the hook all the way to the top, get it around the front of the wheel and clear it. Now we're able to remove our bike and either store it or hit the trail. So with the bike removed, as you can see, we've regained all of that visibility in the back, no obstructions there. There are a couple of nice little features to it now that we have the bike off. It does have these loops here that you could use to run a cable lock through if you wish. There is no tilt down feature, by the way, for this rack. So if you did need to get into your lift gate, you would have to remove the bike in order to do so. But this platform right here actually makes a really handy step. If you do have a roof box or any kind of rooftop cargo you need to access or tie down or untie, use this as a step to get up here and access that. And between rides, if you want to take a break, go ahead and have a seat. So that's a look at the Benton LittleShift Hitch Bike Rack on our 2024 Nissan Rogue. I'm Curt with eTrailer. Thanks for stopping by.